What is going on, everyone? Mike Singer from blueandgold.com. It's Saturday, June 19th, and the Fighting Irish have a huge commitment in the 2022 class. Niuafe Tuihalamaka pledging to Notre Dame. If you're excited about this commitment and you like this video, please hit the thumbs up, like, and subscribe. We appreciate you guys and what we're trying to build here at blueandgold.com. So the question has to be asked, who is Niuafe Tuihalamaka and how did this commitment come together for Notre Dame? Tuihalamaka made a commitment to USC back on February 4th of 2020 and seemed solid with the Trojans before opening things back up on January 23rd of 2021. He actually decommitted from USC a couple of days after Notre Dame offered him a scholarship. I would have to imagine that Notre Dame offer led to his USC decommitment as the Fighting Irish jumped right to the top of his recruitment. Tuihalamaka was recruited early on by Notre Dame special teams coordinator Brian Polian. They built a really strong relationship. One thing that was important to Tuihalamaka was that he's a big Manti Te'o fan. You know, I don't think it's a shock that Tuihalamaka wears the number 5 jersey. He looks up to his idol Manti Te'o. And again, it didn't hurt that Brian Polian is the same guy who recruited Te'o to Notre Dame. So Polian built a strong relationship with Tuihalamaka for a couple of months. Marcus Freeman, Irish defensive coordinator, involved in the recruitment as well. And then really when Freeman just went all in on this recruitment is when it really started to shift towards Tuihalamaka looking like a lock to Notre Dame. Even though it looked likely in about March or April that Tuihalamaka would be landing at Notre Dame, I mean, I put a FutureCast pick in for him to land with the Fighting Irish back on February 15th of this year. You still just don't know, especially when Tuihalamaka was talking about taking official visits, and he did go see Texas on June 4th. And the feeling after that visit was maybe the Longhorns pulled ahead of Notre Dame. But once he took his official visit to Notre Dame the next weekend, Fighting Irish pulled right back ahead. Tuihalamaka ranks as the nation's number 144 overall player, number 5 inside linebacker in the country, number 10 player from the state of California. Some of his offers include Arizona, Arizona State, Florida, LSU, of course Notre Dame, Nebraska was in there, Oregon, Penn State, Stanford, Tennessee, Texas, UCLA, USC, Vanderbilt, high academic schools, powerhouse football programs, but Notre Dame ended up landing Tuihalamaka, and here's what he said about his Notre Dame commitment.
I mean, it's Notre Dame. It really separates from everybody. You won't find a team that's always competing to win that national championship every year, especially with best coaching staff as Coach Freeman, greatest coach you can ever meet. It's just overall like the school. You have best of both worlds of education, football, and then the environment itself of building your own network after football. So that's the biggest thing that separates from every other college.
So we'll go ahead and watch some of his junior clips from 2021. He had a shortened spring season, only 5 games. You saw Tuihalamaka line up there in space, but let's talk about him as a football player. He's going to be a Mike linebacker all the way for Notre Dame. You look at like Joshua Burnham, Notre Dame linebacker commitment. People think he could end up as a defensive end. Is he a Will? Is he a Mike? You look at Nolan Ziegler. Is he a Will? Is he a Rover? If Notre Dame ends up landing Jalen Sneed, is he a Will? Is he a Rover? With Niuafe Tuihalamaka, there's no denying what he is, and it is a Mike linebacker all the way. 6'2" or 6'3", 220 pounds. This dude is a thumper in the middle. That is the best word to describe his game. He is a big body dude. He's only going to get bigger and more physical as he gets into that Matt Balis strength and conditioning program. This was a guy who Notre Dame identified very early in Marcus Freeman's tenure as the Notre Dame defensive coordinator. Brian Polian brought Tuihalamaka to Freeman. Freeman loved him, and then it was just kind of a matter of time before Tuihalamaka would land at Notre Dame. Extremely strong linebacker class for Notre Dame building here. Freeman inherited a commitment from Nolan Ziegler from Grand Rapids, Michigan, Catholic Central, a 4-star player. And then, maybe if Freeman wasn't hired, maybe the Irish still would have gotten Joshua Burnham, another 4-star linebacker from the state of Michigan. Maybe they would have got him anyways. But Freeman was recruiting Berman while he was at Cincinnati, continued to recruit him while he was at Notre Dame, and then the Fighting Irish landed his commitment on St. Patrick's Day in March. Notre Dame goes and gets junior Tuihalamaka, another 4-star player. Like I talked about, number 144 overall player in the country per Rivals, number 5 inside linebacker. I believe they're going to take a total of 4 linebackers. There's a Tuihalamaka playing out in space again. Don't believe he's going to be, playing out over a slot receiver or anything. Again, I see him as a Mike, but if they do take a 4th linebacker again, which is what I'm expecting, Jalen Sneed, another top of the board guy. It would just be huge for Notre Dame if you have Ziegler, Burnham, Tuihalamaka, and Sneed as your linebacker group. I think you can put that against any linebacker core in the country. When it's all said and done, Notre Dame might have the best linebacker class in that 2022 cycle. What do you guys think about this commitment for the Fighting Irish? If you like what you saw in this video, hit the thumbs up, and please subscribe to our channel if you are not already. If you want to see more Notre Dame football and recruiting content, let us know what you think about this commitment. We'll catch you guys next time.